For the past 30 years, Guilford County has offered a home to refugees from around the world. One such refugee is Omer Omer.
I start looking and searching around to find a Sudanese community. And I hear there is a big Sudanese community here in Guilford County, and about 30 people. And that for me was so many people from Sudan at one place. And I decided to come to Greensboro. And by the time I reached Greensboro, I was number 32. Somebody beat me from somewhere.
Nearly 15,000 African immigrants have relocated to the region. The diversity among these refugees includes ethnic, religious, and political differences that in their home countries have led to long-term conflict, strife, and war.
We somehow reflect our communities back home. And many times part of that civil wars because of the rivalry between the different ethnicities. And sometimes this comes here with the group. And especially if you come from two different ethnicities that are warring back home, that here presents a serious challenge to the community.
Well, just to give an example, from one of the first refugee groups to come to this area were from Rwanda. This is after the terrible genocide that was going on there. And some of the families that came were Hutu and some were Tutsi, some were mixed. And if you remember this conflict, the Hutus and Tutsis had been at war and there was massive slaughter. But there were victims on all sides. So all of a sudden, the people you think are your enemy are your next door neighbor, and you have more in common with them than anybody else.
This is the biggest serious challenge for us. Is those people sometimes, they come with the same feeling of this civil wars that have planted on them back home. And when they come here, some of them just find it very hard to let go.
Well, I think it's quite a challenge because you're actually talking about culture, and different ethnicities and within the African group of people that he works with. And he's able to bridge those differences and to have people sit down and talk together, regardless of whether it's a religious difference or a cultural difference. He's able to bring people together to work together towards a better experience for them here in the U.S.
One group of refugees that came to this community is the group of young Sudanese men, also known as the Lost Boys. These young men are mostly considered to be Christians from southern Sudan. But the fact that Omer is Muslim and is from northern Sudan did not preclude him from being able to help us work with these young men and to find a pathway to resettlement that worked for them.
I first present myself with no prejudice. Many of them come to know me as Muslim, and then they will get very surprised to treat them with no prejudice whatsoever in terms of religion. But at the same time, many of them, they expect me perhaps to favor Sudanese or favor East Africans. But many of my clients from West Africa, they present me with pride as brother. This is a brother. And they recommend others. So I think that has helped me to gain some trust among these people. And once you gain trust, I think then you can make some differences among these people.
Well, Omer is well educated. He also worked in journalism and media in the Sudan before he had to flee because of his political work. He's also very devout, and I think he is associated with a branch of Islam that's very much into meditation, conflict resolution. It's kind of a mystical side of Islam that we don't think about very much now. But he brings all of those tools to the table in working with the communities here.
From the first day, you meet him. That's one thing, he just teach you. About, living together, just to tolerate each other. He's the one, who just, give us a tip. So we don't have a problem. Every day we come here, we know I'm not here, just to represent my tribe or to represent my country. I'm just here, just to feel like an American. Omer wants us, to feel like that.
But here in Africa Coalition, I didn't see any difference. We are share everything and we will meet each other. We have sometimes it's like weekend. It's like family. I think because of Omer, this is not my own only. It's ask anybody, maybe he will tell you the same story.
One of his strategies in particular was to build bridges with the African American community. The kind of the conventional wisdom is that there's conflict between African Americans and African immigrants. I think in reality here, African Americans have played a significant role in helping to resettle the newcomer African immigrants.
But we have a very, very good example when we went to the black churches here, African American churches, and we talked to them about co-sponsoring and sponsoring families that are coming from the back home. And the response was 100% positive, with excitement, with embracing these people and doing everything possible. So we felt like, yeah, if you outreach, if you talk to each other, all these tensions will just be a history.
I think that Omer has the ability to work with all different ethnic groups and also people here in the broader community. And the reason I say that is because he's so willing to have dialogue, to listen to your concerns, but also understanding that, okay, I might not believe the same way you do, but I think there's some things that we can do together.
Connecting with people, you know, and making differences on people's life. And when they come and tell you that we prayed for you last weekend in our church or in our mosque, and when they invite you to their kids' graduations or when they have something beautiful in their life, that's the most rewarding things.
I remember even the first time I met him is after we came 4 days, my son's birthday. So we invite him, he's coming with family. I didn't expect, and I appreciate. He's a nice person.
Omer is, I can put him as a symbol, for the people, who really need assistance. He's really, sometimes I feel like, he's born to help. He born, just to live for others.
Anyway, I've been coming every day, and I'm always busy. I always try to. It's difficult sometimes to have fun when you're dealing with people's problems. But I come. The most rewarding thing is really when to solve somebody's problem. That's when I feel like, oh, this is the highest point of my day today. Now somebody who come really stressed about something, and we were able to solve that. That's the most rewarding one of it.